Good morning, everyone. All right, so we had a little consolidation day yesterday. It was all about NVIDIA. Google did well. There was a few other things. Dan's Carvana did well, the Snap. So it's definitely a true stock picker's market. Um, as you look at what, broader markets and this lack of movement, breadth we've talked about forever. You can see the spiders are selling off here a little bit, but in the middle of yesterday's range after being higher. So sellers taking advantage of this move up, which we'll see if it follows through, breaking under yesterday's low. But clearly, for the moment anyway, sellers are taking advantage of that rally. And you can see the pre-market data and the hourly chart and in the daily, right at the top of that topping tail. Sellers came in at resistance and they're heading lower. It appears like they're going to go through. Well, they stopped at this pivot here from yesterday momentarily, and now you can see that they're moving lower. So it looks like they're going to go down to the low of the it's the same low. Yesterday's low and the day before. So that's going to be a critical in the moment to see if it holds there or not. Um, Look at so in comparison, whether we look at breadth or we look at other ETFs, look at the equal weighted S&P 500 yesterday. It was a big nasty down day. No up day. I mean, it's just a stark, difference between the two that I don't know if breadth has ever been, I'm sure it's been as bad, but so um one-sided from a few stocks moving the market, I guess. But anyway, just pointing out how negative the equal weighted was yesterday, and just looking around at other things. I mean, you got to set an alert down below these lows here. You see, finding out this regionals are down here, but after an up day, that inside day closing at the low. I think if this starts to break down, it just got to be a bad sign. These regional banks, if this starts breaking below these lows here. So keep an eye on that. Uh, the bigger financials ETF, similar pattern. It's not down near the low of the trading range, but that bar breaking out above these pivot highs, and then this inside negative day, it's down a little bit. So just a lot of choppy, erratic price action. But maybe the signs are there, that sellers are taking advantage of these moves up, and the market's moved up a lot. So you got to be always aware and adhere to your stops, of course. Um, Home builders, big down day yesterday, sitting on some support. Set an alert, see if it holds. Biotechs, you know, forming this trading range down a little bit here, but just ping ponging back and forth. A lot of stuff has been happening that way, even intraday, just ping ponging off of support and resistance. It was all about, again, NVIDIA, semiconductors. Yesterday, we talked about the angle of retracement and how this came down in a vertical manner. A lot of times, these kind of reversals, they fail unless, the ideal scenario would be for this to have another day of consolidation. Forming 3 days adds a lot more confidence that things could try and move up again. And you can see NVIDIA and other things that were up earlier. See the pre-market here, it was up, and sellers taking control, pushing it back down. But overall, inside of yesterday's bar, running in place, which wouldn't be bad to have another day if there was going to be any kind of an attempt. You can compare that to the weekly chart. You can see multiple bars up, that little topping tail bar. So a rest of some sort. The critical area is the bottom of this wide range bar from 3 weeks ago. Does it break below that? And there's an unfilled gap and congestion there. So it's not like we're looking at patterns here that suggests something of a huge corrective process, but some kind of correction certainly would make sense here. And the evidence is there that sellers are taking control on these moves up. We'll see. As of yet, they haven't broken any significant support yet. So set the alerts, see what they're going to do. The Russell situation, same thing, moved up, down, inside day, breaking. It's moving lower. You can see it's down below those lows. There's congestion there to the left. It's only the beginning day of Wednesday, but what is this bar going to look like? It could be a green bar back up at the highs, or a topping tail and whatever. But we'll talk about this on Friday. But if this was to close like this or a little worse, and it breaks this low, well, we're going to be looking for a move down here. And right now, we're just in information gathering mode as we look at all of these different sectors and markets, because it's kind of at an inflection point as to whether it's going to roll over or just chop sideways. So it's just not a time that you could throw a dart, let's just say, and you're going to do well. Transports. Let's look at that's the ETF. Let's look at the data better here. It's similar, popped up, came back in yesterday, negative day. We've talked about this weekly chart, this one as well, with this support area so far. Just more of running in place. Bitcoin, bottom of the range, bounced a little, so far running in place. Gold, is it going to break? Here's this, waiting to see, does this break lower, or does it flip back up to make one of these violent moves where these topping patterns fail? I don't know what it's going to do, but I know if this was to flip back up here, it's likely to run to the top of the range or higher. And if it breaks here, this is an example of a void. Strong move up. You got this consolidation, another strong move, and all of this time correction. And so we'll see. Do you place any weight to the quarter end activity? Well, I don't place any weight on it as far as whether it's going to go up or down. So what I mean by that is there are these general concepts. Let's just call it seasonality as it relates to this. And so, you've got your year-end rally and your summer rally and so summer doldrums and so on and so forth. So end of a quarter, is it going to go up or down? So what any of these, the thing is to say, you say, hey, is there going to be a summer rally? And you look at the charts and it's been going up for 2 months. It's like McFly, the rally's over, So it happened before the beginning of summer or whatever, in the middle. You get my point. So, and a week ago, I spoke about, the quarterly options expiration, which often is a turning point. Now, the markets have been going up for a while, and we look at the weekly chart, and you see the momentum slowing. It's been going up for a while. Quarterly options expiration. Wouldn't it logically make sense for prices to correct a little bit, and in 2020 hindsight, look back and say, oh, that stolen momentum in that turn was during the quarterly options expiration? So my point is, these seasonal general concepts, you have to put them in context with what has preceded it. You can look at your market internals and kind of eventually it's like, okay, do I have price confirmation of a turn? What would that be? Well, SPX or anything like this where you have a run up and a shallow pullback. Does it turn into an M top, or do you have a buy setup failure? So buy setups, which are generally just, okay, it's in an uptrend, it pulls back. Sometimes I call it a hook or buy setup, whatever. Is when it's that close to a prior high, your reward to risk is probably less than 1-to-1. Right? So it's a bad setup, but can the momentum continue up to, above these highs? It might, but, it's just not a good high probability setup. So we'll see. Things are down here a little bit as we already looked at. And we'll see if it breaks below here. And then if it does, there's an unfilled gap on a rising 20 MA. It's not going to change the uptrend. But, as we looked at, what's going on under the hood through this ETF, and my point of that I constantly make, market corrections hide the true damage that happens under the hood. So as you look at different stocks, say maybe the market has a 5% correction. There's going to be stuff out there that's going to correct 25%, 30%. And, you don't want to be part of that. All right. We looked at, here's crude oil consolidating after the push up. Down here a little bit pre-market, but in the context of this range, it's just nothing. Silver, is going to hold this pivot. We just don't have any high probability patterns, right? Right. So I don't know, day before yesterday, the slide was an abundance of low quality patterns. That hasn't changed. We looked at the gold is going to break or not. Interest rates up here a little bit this morning. You can see the little pop up, but in a downtrend, still at the bottom of the wide range bar. No matter where we look, as far as indices goes and sectors, the majority of them do not offer any quality patterns. Now, I mentioned software the other day, which had this really nice rally strength. Just like crude oil, it's got to, consolidate a bit to see. Well, then it can be feast or famine. You're not going to find very many quality patterns in ETF sectors. They're just not there, which we've reviewed. There's a lot of messy stuff like this, overlapping bars up against pivot highs or down near pivot lows and waiting to see if they're going to break one way or another. Retailing, a lot of overlapping bars. Airlines, it looks like it's ready to roll. Where is that? Down a little bit at the bottom of the trading range. On the other hand, oil is shaping up. We talked about this with the fact that crude oil was rising. These were still going down. And last week I said, historically, when oil rallies like this, there's often a disconnect between the stocks or the ETFs that, holding the stocks, but eventually they catch up. And this is what's beginning to happen. So the depth of this retracement, moves this downtrend to a sideways trend, and a small position or buying pullbacks, with crude oil, holding like this, just sometimes just crude oil being at a higher level. What's that level? I'm not a crude oil analyst, but hey, from 72 to 82, $10 a barrel more, I got to put a lot of profits in these oil companies' pockets. That's a big difference. So, we'll see what today brings. So far, it looks like, more of the same, unless we can get some momentum going to the downside. And probably was still, always hostage to some extent to the economic news, which there's home sales at 10 o'clock. And oil, there'll be a lot of oil information at 10:30. So keep that in mind. And of course, you've got Thursday jobless claims and PCE on Friday. So we'll see how it unfolds day to day, and a lot of misalignment of time frame. So it is what it is. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. So today, MT Live, we'll be talking about bottoming patterns. And when Greg showed the gold futures, he was analyzing with, topping pattern. So it's identical concepts that we'll be going over today. spending more time on the bottoming patterns. All right, so alarms going off. Google. No, that was yesterday. So I don't have a single alarm going off in terms of a problem. But yeah, Google was a 1, 2, 3. We had a bull call debit spread. We sold half into the close. Greg mentioned that Carvana. We sold the last third into the end of day rally. So that was a nice trade. All right, let's go right to earnings here. Well, semis here. The video was up again. Nice 180 reversal yesterday. Was up, gave it up, exceeded it. So I mentioned actually, ideally, I know there's a number of semis here that look great. Ideally, 30-minute high. AMAT, we did a half lot yesterday. Same concept, buy setup, support the 20. And we also did a put spread, so that's coming in along with the sector, but a lot of these look very similar. LRCX, that's a potent 180 reversal. Pico, same. Plaque, same. SMH, same. So that's a good sector if they can take out 30-minute high, I think, or start off as day trades. Earnings here, FedEx. Wow. I can't remember the last time I've seen a major stock like this. Let's just call it S&P 100 that have been in business for decades and decades and decades have a gap this big. I mean, that's monster. 256. It was 295 pre-market. That is off this chart. Look, it's off my weekly chart. To have a gap on a company like this, it's not all-time
See
high.
Whirlpool, Dan?
What?
Did you see Whirlpool?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
talking about stocks like that and the size of a gap.
right. I said it on earnings is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. This is a buyout rumor, so that's different. And still, the gap's not as big. Look, the gap's right here, 102. Fine, that's a pro gap. But look look at FedEx is blowing through my weekly chart. That's just amazing. So anyway, a bunch of us, including myself, shorted naked out of the money puts on this. I think I had the 225s, so I'm just going to let them expire at full profit. I don't even feel like paying a penny for them because they expire tomorrow. I know Alex did a big old lot, so good job there. These are earnings, PRGS. I see it, and if it's not liquid, I don't trust it. At least I can see the bar, so I know that's going to be more of a real gap down. So this gap in the, I don't know. Let's see if buyers step up or not. I'll put that in the other chart. Other computer. KX was up, now flat, nothing to do. We'll come back. GIS. I was trying to do a condor on this, a $1 wide condor. I was trying to do the 70, 71, and 65, 64, and it's actually gapping down. So I did not get filled. And I even lowered it from 37 down to 33, and I still didn't get filled. So I'm glad I didn't. All right, 166, big old gap, but no trade. DAKT 1220. I was hoping it would open right here around, look, when I started looking at it was a nice bullish gap here, 1130 to 1150. And that would have been a beautiful day trade, gapping over this red bar. day trade, target $12, but now it kept running, messed it up for me. And now let's just look at my interest list. Cat, I have an alarm, sell setup, AXP, same. But I like cat better because this one was a more violent move. So I don't think it's gonna, I just like cat better. We always have this, I call it the A/B test. Like Greg showed you the financials, but if Morgan can take out yesterday's high, we have it as a long haul idea. Hershey, I looked for a put spread. This was a potent reversal here on support, but there was no premium. This was a buy setup Sam brought to us, but brought it to us too late. X, I have an alarm, inverse head and shoulder. Yeah, Greg, now my delete button's not working on the laptop either. VST. Oh, we actually entered that big old double bottom. NRG, we sold puts. All right, these were left over from the weekend. RNA, I mentioned that HE. It's bullish as can be, daily, weekly, monthly. But it's up so much, there's just no good entry. And this is actually an M top. Now, it's not a quality one per se because of the bullishness of this gap in the weekly and monthly, but nevertheless, it's reason enough not to enter. This, wow. I think it's a nuclear stock, but what an amazing entry right there at that bar. I said yesterday that keep an eye on it as a Climo. Actually, now it's breaking down. Now let's see if that could be a day trade short. Let me see if there's any out of the money calls. That's just a textbook climactic sell setup. There's no options. Shoot. Nano nuclear energy. But yeah, that could be a big trade short. So annoying when your computer's not working. All right, Greg told me this had a 50-for-1 stock split. No, I don't like buy setups that come down violently like that, unless it's just a day trade. But let's see if there's any juice down here for a put spread. CMG, we would do the 63.5. Yeah, we're gonna have all kinds of weird strikes now because of the split. 63.5. Okay, I'm not getting quotes on it for some reason. I guess, well, that makes sense because it hasn't traded. So it's split right today. So that makes sense. All right, we looked at these. Look at GitLab. All right, so just to clarify, this is not what we call a bottoming pattern. This is a climactic buy setup with now a W bottom, new low plus. That's what this is. It's just a bounce in a downtrend. This is not what we're going to be talking about today as a bottoming pattern. It's a bounce and a downtrend. Now, could it be the bottom? And then, all the MAs flatten up and then it makes higher, high, higher, low. Sure, it could be. But there's no reasonable evidence to think that you're buying the low for the rest of the year, except for tradable bounce. Yeah, you know what, Alex? I obviously look at the cousins every time a big movers out there. I was kind of shocked that this didn't gap up more than it did. Gapped up $3, but with FedEx up 40 or whatever. So this is still a dog. Spot, we have a put spread, but it's showing relative strength here, pre-market. 10-15 minute high. This could be a great day trade. Big old turn here at the 20. Shop, it's sloppy. But what's today? Wednesday? Over Monday's high. It could be a 2 DTE put spread. Oh, I have 2 days of risk now on that FedEx thing. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do on my FedEx. I'll wait till the market opens to tell you what I'm going to do. But I will go as high up as I can to buy a put for 1 penny, and then I'll book my gains, and then I will have a free put spread. Apple, that's beautiful pre-market cap and consolidation. Look, and now it's going now. Shoot. I was hoping it wouldn't move. It's 9:28. We have 2 minutes to go. But that's a beautiful day trade target. I don't know, 212.25. But now the more that it moves, it's messing me up. But gapping over this ugly red bar, gapping over major resistance, little buy setup, pre-market with a void. Beautiful day trade setup. Like I said, a Google alarm go off. So, good thing we sold half in the strength. That's pulling in. Let's watch the back half. Sevra here. Kind of sounds like a bio. I'm not sure, but big gap up. Look at Ribbon. It looks like the last 2 days they knew something, but now I think Volkswagen said they're gonna invest $5 billion in this EV company. So to me, it's excessive. So I got this as a call spread watch, and they do have calls up there. Vulcan, piece of garbage. X got an upgrade. It's just a bounce and a downtrend. It might give you a day trade setup here, but nothing exciting. LUV got pre-released some earnings things, so that's a bearish. That's an ugly gap with a void. Let's keep an eye on this for I got Ribbon in the other computer. Let me put love here. Definite call spread idea. 5-minute low call spread idea. If there's any juice, if my option traders want to help me, the 29s for next week would be the go-to. Cat. It's an early alarm, nothing to do yet. Semis. Semi alarm. I was given this as a 2 DTE put spread. Let's wait 5-minute high on this. Before the put spread, because the market is not gonna, push the throttle mode. All right. So that Apple took off. The other things are pretty neutral. Microsoft actually kerplunked a little bit here pre-market into the open. All right, this Ribbon I told you about, call spread. Let me see what the juice bar has for us. Disney Dog, I was trying to get us out break even yesterday. I just had a low alarm. Ribbon. All right, the 18s. Wow, they're juicy. The 18s for Friday. or even the 19s or 28 cents. So let's keep an eye on this. And that's pretty good juice. All right, this whir I mentioned, gap down on earnings. So see, buyers did step up, but I still don't see any good pattern. There's a lot of good semis, Alex. So as long as the semi's here, let's give it a few minutes. I think there's a lot of good choices for 1 to 2 day bounce at least. This GitLab I mentioned, double bottom, new low plus is moving. That looks great for a bounce and a downtrend. What is a GitLab?
Man, did you check Tesla for a put spread?
Did not. Spreads are ridiculous.
Looks pretty good.
5 by 40. Oh yeah, totally it does. 183. Yeah, Alex asked me yesterday about nibbling on that into the close, and I said, yeah, 20% lot. It looked good. It looks better now. I'll take another 20% right now. 182.50. Wow, that's good juice. Yeah, let's do it. 182, 177. This thing's whipped us around a couple times in the last month, so I'm a little gun shy. Z, Zulu. Let's move stuff. Let's move stuff. Yeah, this thing was 45.38 Zulu. Oh, you know what? I'll bet Tesla's moving on that Ryden news. Would be my guess. You know, check somebody help, check other EV stocks. I am a little busy always, but if someone wants to do that. I don't even know the top 5 anymore. Used to. I used to Papa Hotel. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. AD&T. Yeah, that looks, yeah, almost setting alarms. Florida, low alarm. That was a break even. Arriving, I had the right idea. You all saw the call spread, but fell pretty hard. All right, Florida. Florida. All right, we're stopping out break even. Our AMAT up $1 yesterday. Let me check our, well, we got directional and. Cat cat is a watch, ideally 30-minute low. I like this one better than AXP for the reasons discussed. Yeah. You might, yeah. I put it on the list from yesterday. And I said I didn't want to do it into the close, but I said on today under yesterday's low. But it looks good. Yeah, I did not like that as a short because of this potent reversal down here. Disney's still a dog. Remember I said yesterday, it's a bottoming pattern that is already showing signs of fatigue. All right, so SMH, as I said, 5-minute high, so 262.57. 260. Yeah, I like it better. Yeah, I'll set an alarm. Venus participating in Rival. I'm not sure what they do, but yeah, that's just a Climo with a 4-bar reversal. Sure. Check. 2 puts. No juice for Friday. 2 spready for next week. BMO. Come on, charts. Yeah, looks lower. Old Bank of Montreal. This GitLab's working. TBT gapped up, but still in a tight range in a downtrend, so it means nothing. Snap came in. PSX bottoming pattern from yesterday. Alex's TTD. That's USM coming in. That triggered yesterday. This wheat, it's a climo, but still no turn. GME flat, FedEx a beast. eBay, let's move stuff. Days low, 53.28. You're buying Carvana now after that big old move. AD&T up alarm and you're buying Carvana? Right day? Oh, Kyle, my bad. All right, thanks. Thank you. I'm not crazy about it. You know, it's a breakout failure. But got all alarms done. Tech problems are just driving me bananas. AMAT doing well. We bought it at 233.81. So I cannot move it yet. Our Charlie Lima, it gapped under the stop, so let's move it days low, 97.86. We only have a third lot left. Friggin' number keys not working. BHRW trucker from yesterday. GME's not working so far. Google, stop below now.
Emmy's moving up. Look at SOXL. 15-minute, nice bottom.
Yeah, SMH is put spread yourself. Yeah, so let's look at these LRCX ripped. Wow, CMG got sloppy. Deco moved up a little. Crowd, I don't like. Clack ain't bad. Anchor was yesterday's high, but target 850 maybe. Spot. We have a put spread. Yes, yes, SMH, yes, well, Soxel, SMH, same thing. Let's see what our juice is. Yeah, SMH shit. I got our 50 cent. SPX and Workday alarm. Workday alarm, but I'm waiting. Oh, cat here, Greg. What do you think of cat?
What is it, a call spread?
No, sell setup short. Yesterday's low.
The depth of that retracement makes it questionable that it's going to make new lows, but it is a sell setup at resistance.
All right, let me try and call spread.
Which is your weekly chart? This
Uh,
one?
Bottom middle.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's aligned with it. I was looking at that. So I wanted to see if the weekly was a bullish pattern, and it's more of a bear flagish pattern.
Right. All right, let's do a call spread for next week then instead. AXP alarm lower. Banks falling here. Wow, nice, Bill. Hey, Bill, put your drop down so everyone can see. That's what Bill said. Bill Nuts was incognito. Wow, you're oh yeah. Okay, put. Yeah. That's a put setup. How spready was it, Bill? Because usually he's a big one. No, just my laptop, which no, I'm not gonna blame TS this time. Look at this GitLab rocking here. Mentioned beautiful W bottom, new low plus. Man, that worked like a charm. All right, AXP. Yeah, no, I like I said, I like cat better. It's weaker. All right, with banks weakening here, I just got a Goldman alarm. We have a put spread, so we're in hope mode for Friday. But if you wanted to kill some, I couldn't blame you at all. With banks weakening. Yeah, look at that. It's not a textbook sell setup at all. It's more of a trading range with a breakout failure, but now it's a nasty 180 with a void. So yeah, banks look lower. Workday I have right here. I'll set a new alarm, 219. A nice move on Tesla there. Alex Gregg does Interactive Broker. Let's try moving 35 minutes. Apple got sloppy, but I had a bullish day trade bias. Microsoft called back, negated that pre-market down move. Netflix is having a good day, but no pattern. We're still in Google call spread. Meta is ready. We were watching this yesterday.